morning.
Good morning. So I'm going to, Angela, I want to make you a co-host. Angela, when you get here, say hello so I can make you a co-host. Good morning, everybody. I'm gonna keep everybody muted so that we don't have background distraction. But welcome. And we should be live now on Facebook. So hi, Facebook group. And we are in our Zoom room. And I'm also we have something so fun we're going to do together today. We have a little activity we're going to do I'm excited about. This is really super fun. So hello. And I'm also going to, it's like camera 1, camera 2. We're also going to go live on Instagram because people are watching from all over. Hi guys. So we're live on Instagram. We are live in our Facebook group. And we're going to do a little bit of coaching today. Who's excited? Who's excited to get closer to your goals in the next hour? Feels like a good idea. Hello, Project EXO. I was just talking about you yesterday. Hi. So welcome, guys. Welcome, one and all. Look, I have shower hair right now. Anyone can dress up for you. Anyone can blow their hair out. But how many people will come to you like this? Just totally al natural themselves without any blowout situation going on. That's right. Me. I give you this. So welcome everyone. I have a little iced coffee here. How many of you feel that it is a real situation? Like you won't get through the day without the iced coffee. This is where I live. There it is. Hold it up if it's there. Sarah's got it. Yes, Susan knows. I literally, you don't know what it does for me. Like knowing, this is my thought. Like when it's 9 o'clock in the evening, I think to myself, oh, tomorrow's a busy day, but I get to wake up and have iced coffee. Talk about Pavlov and the dog. I don't know. It's just what's happened. I want to see if there's the comments in the Facebook group. We're doing well. We're doing it. We're all in the places. Somebody on our team, I feel like you should be in the Zoom room so I can make you a co-host just in case you want to be managing some of the action in there. Just saying. All right, let's get into it. Here's what we're going to do. Who's ready to do a little exercise? I mean, not what's her name? Jane Fonda. I mean, an exercise in actually getting to where we want to be. Type a 1 in the chat if you would like to dig in a little bit and get closer to your goals right now and have a breakthrough. Who wants to have a breakthrough? Who doesn't want to have a breakthrough? You're more interesting to me. Who's like, no, I don't want it. Actually, tell me this. Just so we can switch it up. Type a smiley face into the chat if you believe that there is a next level for you in your life. Let's see it. Let's just see it on a Wednesday. Let's see it on a Wednesday. Do you think there's another level for your life? You do. Elena does. Mo Jones, my love, she does. I see it. Jane Butler sees it. There is another level for your life, folks. There is another level for your life. That's correct. All right, so we're going to get it. Let's go get it today. And as my teacher, Dr. Joe Dispenza, likes to say before a meditation, and this man puts us through it. I go on his retreats. We're talking 8 hours a day. I'm not going to make you do this today, but he'll say, you've got to reach. You're not going to get there thinking about what you ate yesterday or that fight you still had with so-and-so. You wish you got to reach for God, right? That's what he says. You got to reach for it. Whatever it is for you. You don't have to use the word God if it makes you uncomfortable. It's just a word, but you got to reach for that next transcendent space. Let's do this. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First thing is a little bit of a physical thing. Do you know that it is scientifically proven that in order for you to actually achieve what you want, the first thing is first, you've got to change your state. You have to change your state. This is why a lot of people do a little bit of a morning routine. You got people doing a little bit of a run situation. You got people doing a little bit of like me, not the running. Like I do a Megan Trainor dance party in front of the mirror. Is that embarrassing? No, I have to dance my way into the day. I have to, let's be really real here. And Angie, I see you. I'm going to make you a co-host because I want you to help me mute if there's background noise. So what I'm saying to you is the following. I dance my way into the day. I have a playlist, and I have been known to have mostly boy bands on there. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm going to come out and be honest about it. It's mostly the Backstreet Boys and some One Direction. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. The way that you flip your hair makes me oh, and when you smile at the ground. I'm a happier version of myself having listened to that song. It's a fact. It's probably all Max Martin music. He's making it from his island, and I don't care at all because I want it. And people are like, well, I listen to Bjork. I'm like, good for you. Listen to it by yourself with your fancy, fabulous friends. And I'm going to listen to the Backstreet Boys and One Direction. Are we going to break up over this? No, we're not. Stay with me. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You have to change your state. You have to literally change your state. So we're going to stretch. Okay, arms up. I know you're going to like humor me, but I can see you guys. I can see a lot of you. Some of you are on Zoom. Reach. If I could reach higher. Okay, just put your hands up. Put your hands up. Actually, my neck hurts so bad right now. This feels so good. Put your hands up. Okay. Now I want you to do something else for me. This time, I want you to reach as far as you can. Just reach as far as you can. Go. Reach as far as you can. Reach as far as you can. As far. As high as high. Reach 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 as high. Hold it. Okay, drop your hands. Shake them out. Okay, shake them out. Now I want you to do something else. This time, I want you to reach as far as you can one more time. Go. As far as you can. Are you reaching as far as you can? Okay, drop your hands, shake them out. Now this time, this is the last time, I want you to do it again. Put your hands up, reach as far as you can. Now see if you can reach further. See if you can reach 10% further than that. Now drop your hands. Now tell me in the chat if that actually just happened. That you said, I'm reaching as far as I can, but then you actually found that you could reach 10% further. Type a yes if you actually found that you felt you were reaching as far as you could, but then you actually could reach 10% further. There you go. That's a metaphor for all of the things. We play in a ceiling and we live in a ceiling. It's like fleas in a jar, right? They bounce, they got a lid. You take the lid off, they just stay in that jar because they forget that ceiling, it means nothing. It means nothing, right? Okay, so let's go through a little bit of a process here. I want you to vision yourself a year from now achieving your goals. I want you to picture yourself a year from now. So it is June 16th, 2022, and you have achieved a goal that's on your heart right now. I want you to envision what it feels like. So it's the beginning of the summer. What's going on in your life because you achieved that goal? Are you going on a trip? Are you having some fabulous meeting with some amazing person overlooking Central Park West? Are you able to do a certain kind of a thing for your kids? Are you wearing this incredible, yummy outfit on your way to have some fabulous brunch with this person who you admire? Is your podcast 50,000 downloads in, what does life feel like? So now we have to get specific, okay? So you get out your pen and paper and stop making fun of my pen. It's all I have in the house. This joke never gets old. This started at the beginning of the week because I couldn't find a pen except for this pen that my daughter has. And I'm going to milk this joke as long as I want, because next time you want to lead your coaching, you milk your own joke. But I'm going to keep using that joke. So pick up a pen and I want you to write down 2 specific goals. 2. I'll tell you why 2, because the mind is fascinating. There's usually one goal we want so badly, and it's a fascinating system of levers and pulleys, but essentially the one that we want so bad, we typically will sabotage, and well, in Made to Do This, we're going to totally break through that. But it's nice to put down 2 goals, because there's usually the second goal, which is something we do still really want, but we don't put as much pressure on it. So we don't sabotage it as much. We don't put as much resistance in front of it. And it actually might happen sooner. In any case, I want you to write down 2 specific goals, things that you want to achieve. And I'm not talking about things that you want to achieve in a lifetime. I'm not saying I want to win a Nobel Prize. I don't want you to say, I want to visit every country in the world. I want you to write down 2 specific goals that you could have specifically done by June 16, 2022. So you could write down, not I want to make an abundance of money, specific. I want to make $75,000. I want to open an ice cream shop. I want to publish my book. I want to fill in the blank. Okay, something specific that could happen by June 2022. Write it down. I'll give you a second. Write it down. And then if you feel like it, feel free to write it into the chat so we can all enjoy your goal. How's it going? How do you like my shoulder? I'm sorry that I can't be straight on this way, but I have 2 very different profiles, by the way. It's fascinating. Do you have that too? Like, I literally have 2, like my face is not symmetrical. My eyes are different and my profiles are different. It's all interesting. Anyways, write down in the chat your goals. Okay, so I see goals coming in. So Kristen said, I want to have my own house for my kids and I want to buy a house on the West Coast. I would want you to be even more specific. I would like to buy a house with a blue door. I would love to buy a 3-bedroom house 5 blocks or something like that from the ocean. I would like to, something like that. I want to launch an online course that makes 100,000 in 1 year. Awesome. I want to have 1 more baby. I'd like to be earning 60,000 euros. I think that is. I want to create a grant writing and servicing company that earns me over $200,000 a year. Great. Have 10 homes that we do luxury concierge by the end of the year. Awesome. Working and writing remotely from a vacation spot. There's 3 places where there's comments. So I'm going to look over here. Declutter my home. Would like to have $30,000 to buy my family a pool. Beautiful. Okay. Open a yoga studio near the beach. Great. Lovely. I love these. These are all things that would provide even more magic and abundance for everybody else in the world, because you would create so much more yummy goodness by feeding this to yourself and to everybody else. Okay. So now I want you to do this. I want you to write down what has gotten in the way of this in the past. Was it a limiting belief? Like, well, I can't get married. All the good men are gone. Was it a emotional situation? Like, well, I get defeated too easily. I take, 1 step and then I get rejected. What has prevented you from achieving this goal that you guys so happily wrote down? What has prevented you from that? Self-doubt, self-sabotage, imposter syndrome, indecisiveness, fear of failure. What has prevented you from these goals? Fear, self-doubt. What else? Limiting beliefs. So we're going to do it the other way. there's a fascinating way in which human beings will make decisions and move into action. It's kind of like in a lot of romantic comedies. Let's say there's a situation where the guy, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. And she's going. She's going to go. And he doesn't get it. And he kind of knows that the relationship is like teetering unless he steps up and makes a decision. And he's just not able to move forward with like getting engaged, right? And then she leaves. And then he sits with the pain, and the pain of her actually not being there. What happens? Moves him into action. The montage scene comes, you see him running down, rushing to the airport. All the songs come in. The emotional response is happening for everyone in the theater. And just before the flight door closes, he runs on the plane and he's like, I am an idiot. I want this. Who's with me? Type a 1 if you know the scene. In fact, this would be a fun game. What movie has that scene? Because what movie doesn't have that scene? But what movie has that scene? You know what a good one is for me? Jerry frickin' Maguire. How much do you love that movie? I could watch that movie over and over and over again. It's so good. And what does he do? He walks into the living room. You know it. And she goes, shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello. Hello. Oh, it's so good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put ourselves in that situation. Here's what I mean. Sometimes in order for you to save your own life and finally make the decision that's going to get you to actually do that which you came to the world to do, which is to be the most fulfilled, full bloom version of yourself, sometimes you actually have to put yourself there. You have to save your own life, to actually become you, to live into the destiny that God had in mind for you, which is in you. If it's the desire, the Latin word for desire, Jen Sincero taught me this. The word desire comes from the Latin word deire, which means of the Father. So whether you're a religious person or not religious person, just know that that's a fascinating idea, that desires, the word for desire comes from the idea that if God put it in you, it's from a bigger place. It's there because it's meant for you, because that's your sort of like compass. Just like when I came out to LA, not every human being wanted to be a songwriter. I was like, everyone wants this. Everyone. Nope. No. Right. It's just like I started doing a podcast and I was like, well, now everybody wants it. Just fine. Just forget it. Well, just forget it then. No. A lot of people are like, that sounds insane. Like I would never share my life like that. I have no desire to like talk to strangers every second. Although, can I tell you, best comment ever just got today was from Cheryl Hines, who just commented on an Instagram post because I just interviewed her for the podcast and she commented, I'm kind of in love with you. And I wrote back, and I'm dead now. I'm dead. And here's the skull and crossbones because I love her and I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. And that's pretty much as good as it gets. So anyways, I love doing a podcast, but a lot of people are going to say, not for me, not for me. You can all go and see that if you go to my Instagram later. In any case, what we have to do is we sometimes have to really simulate the ugly piece that moves Tom Cruise into action, right? What is that? What that is going back to the goal. So now you fast forward to 2022, June 16th. We did that before, except you did nothing, except nothing happened, except you didn't move an inch, except that goal that you just told me, I want to put in a pool. I want to have another baby. I want to make $75,000. I want to open my yoga studio. No. So picture yourself, it's June, it's 2022. The world has come back quite a bit. People are moving and shaking a little bit more. People are actually back with a vengeance, right? And like people want to do more things together because we've been in lockdown for so long. businesses are like sort of booming in a way because people had a chance to get all these creative ideas, and that's going on. And let's just go with me here. I'm doing this to be kind to you because I want to do whatever I'm going to be able to do to push your button to get you to move into action, right? So I want you to picture yourself for reals. It's 2022, it's June 16th, and nothing's happened. But worse than that, what has happened is you've spent another year building on the lie that you're not worth it. The world has nothing for you. And you lied to yourself more and more and more. And because you lied to yourself, you found ways to cope with those lies. You shopped more than you should. You ate more than you should. You hung out with people who loved those lies too. So that wasn't so great for you. You watched other people do their thing and felt bad about yourself. You spent a year of your life when people last year died, right? People died from COVID. You lived, and then you spent a year letting your dreams die. And now it's June 2022 and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. What's going on, do you think, for you in June of 2002? How does that feel? What are you planning to do today? Let's say nothing has changed at all. Nothing has changed. And what does that feel like? But I want you to take it further. I want you to jump 5 years. I want you to go to 2026. I want you to be in 2026. And I want you to be 5 years older than you are now, knowing that 5 years have passed, 5 of the best years, 5 of the years where you still had the ability to like run around. You had energy, right? You're not 92. You were a little bit younger than that. And believe me, you realize all the people who just ran for president of the United States were in their 70s. So don't tell me you're too old, because that's the kind of job you don't decide you're going to take if you are too old. And they're all older than what most people think is old. And they're not old. They're like moving and shaking. So that's up here. Okay. So I want you to think it's 5 years from now, and 5 years goes by and you sat on it. 5 years goes by and you lied to yourself and you said to yourself, there's nothing out there for you. You don't have what it takes. Nobody like you gets anywhere. People who get things are lucky. This, that, and the other thing. How's your health? How does that affect your relationship? Who got sick of it and moved on? How does it affect the people in your life who you're trying to inspire? Your children, your spouse? How is that affecting the opportunities? Here's a good one. Who did you never get to meet? Who did you never get to meet? What experiences did you miss out on? What amazing restaurants, what sunsets did you not get to see? What hotels did you not get to stay at? What cool creative experiences? And here's the biggest one. Whose life did you not get to touch? Who did you get to not serve? Because 5 years went by and you decided to choose a belief, to choose to not move into action, to choose to not change your state of being, to choose to not go and do what you really want to do. Be honest with me. How does it feel? Love yourself enough to get really fed up with your own BS. You know, every time there's any hiccup or obstacle on my team, do you know what I do? I don't make it anybody else's fault, because it's not. I'm going to look at my own stuff and say, what in me? Because everything is a reflection of that. So if there's no result, it's not he should have, she should have. It's what am I supposed to do? I'm going to lead my way through it. Because you know what it is? When we put the responsibility on everybody else, what we're really doing is disempowering ourselves and saying, oh, because I have no control over, I'm not strong enough. Yes, you are. You absolutely are. So I want you to think really hard and clear about what has prevented you from doing this thing that you dream about when you hit your head on the pillow, when it's just you and you. What's really preventing you? And what is it going to take for you to make a decision that whatever you've been doing up till now isn't working well enough for you to hit that next level, and you're doing something else. And that's why when I said reach as far as you can, tell me that you have. Now, can you reach 10% higher? Of course you can. People said that it was inhuman. It was not humanly possible for a human being to run a 4-minute mile. That we couldn't do that, that wasn't biologically, physiologically possible. And Roger Bannister broke that and ran a mile in less than 4 minutes. Now that is the standard. Now every single Boston Marathon, LA Marathon, the first 29 winners all ran the marathon, and whatever it is, the miles, their mile was less than 4 minutes. They all ran less than 4-minute miles. They run miles like 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Like, of course they did, but somebody showed them that was possible. And that is the case with all of the things that are much easier than that. I often say to people, oh my God, what are you really asking for from the world? You're not asking to like own a country. You're asking to like have a life that feels good. You're asking to like have a little piece of the pie where you wake up and like your life and do something great and make the world better. Like, is that really so much to ask? So what happens to people? Why do we keep getting stuck? There's a couple reasons. Number one, Seth Godin, my mentor, wrote a book, many books. One of them is called The Dip. And the dip is inevitable. Any person you talk to, whether they're working in their business, whether they're Elon Musk or some mom and pop shop down the street, there's going to be many moments where the wind is not at your favor and you hit a dip. So what successful people do is they don't not hit the dip. Of course they hit the dip. Of course they hit the dip. They just expect it. And they anticipate the dip. And then they show up through the dip. And on the other side of the dip, there's fewer people because most people don't wire themselves that way. So that's where scarcity lies. And that's why that person's shop is still open. Do you get me? So what's a good example of this? Let's think about something. This is an interesting question. Can you think of something that everybody has tried at some point in their life and failed at it multiple times and persevered and figured it out? Can you think of something that almost everyone you know has tried, failed at so many times, but ultimately persevered? What is something that people have failed at? Catherine knows where I'm going. Catherine's got it. Tiff has got it. Claire's got it. Not every person has the luxury of it. My friend, I don't need to get into it. I have many friends my friend Mia doesn't have this option, but most of us learn to walk. Thank God. Something to be grateful for. Let's be grateful for that right now. Be grateful for your legs right now. Just that. Think about what you got to do today, running up the stairs, and just what a gift. What an unbelievable gift. So with walking, I've never seen a parent who watches their child fall down 19 times a minute and says, don't worry about it. Stop trying. Sit down. We go, come on, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. And I have 3 daughters. So any of you who have, been parents, your kids don't just fall. They like wipe out. Like there were so many times my husband and I were like, how did we survive our childhoods? Like the human body, it's heavy and it falls down on the stair. And it's like, oh my God, I remember thinking like, what will people think has happened to my daughter because of the amount of times she fell, like, and just took a dive, and it didn't stop me from making everything possible the next day for her to reach again and try again and try again and try again. And if you add it up, babies don't fall down 17 times. They fall down thousands of times. So why do they eventually learn to walk? There's a few reasons. Why do they eventually learn to walk when it doesn't work and 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 it doesn't work? Because they see you do it. So they constantly see this possibility staring them in the face, and they know that it's possible. And because quitting is not an option, so what they do is they constantly keep trying a different strategy. They try to get up this way, then they realize they need this kind of balance. And eventually they find the right amount of balance and the right way to get themselves in that. And they find the strategy and it works. So they're determined, their commitment, it's a decision. It's not even, there are things in life where you say, well, I should eat healthier. I mean, I eat a lot of garbage, or I should make date night a priority, but you don't. You just don't. And then there are things in your life that you just say like, oh, it's not an option. It's a must. I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to make sure that I go to sleep. Even if I'm only sleeping right now, I'm only sleeping, having kids and working, I sleep 5.5 hours, but I'm not going to skip out on sleep. I'm going to stop at some point and sleep. Right. Or I'm going to spend time with my kids. Like, I'm very sensitive to that barometer. Like, I can tell when I'm like, okay, each one of them needs alone time with me during the week. So like, I'll make alone time for each kid. I can't skip out on that. Like, I just can't. I have a plant. That my friend Patrice Washington sent to me, and I have to water it because otherwise it'll die. So there's like big things and small things, right? What is something in your life that you say that you should do, but you don't? And what is something in your life that you say you must do and then you do? Something that I keep saying I should do is work out, because I know that it's better for my back. And I know that eventually I'm going to want to be like more of a Gumby, and sitting at a computer and not working out is bad, but I just put it off. I've never had like a consistent workout. I've gone through spurts, but never. What else do I say I should do? What else? What else do you say you should do? I quit smoking, eating better, lose weight, meditate. That I do. I do. What else? I'm going to look at we have 3 places for comments. Abby agrees. She says exercise, workout, daily movement, spend less time on your phone. Okay, so now what's something that you say is a must and you actually do it? What is something that is a must? Is it making sure you call your mother? Is it making sure that you, I don't know, put out the recycling every week? You don't forget it. You don't just throw it in the trash. I know for us, that's like a thing. I don't know why, certain things become like a thing. What is a must? Yes, Erica, that's a really good one. You buckle those kids in the car seat. Absolutely. That's a must. You don't pull out of the driveway, right? We have that whole fight every day. I'm like, it takes so long. Come on. Buckle up. Kate makes her bed. That's actually like a sign of like Rhodes Scholars do that. Have a hot cup of coffee, take your heart meds, walk your dog. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss walking your dog. That would be bad. Eating. Yep. Laundry. Yep. What else? Taking your birth control. Yep. Vocal training. That's cool. Okay. So this is what we're talking about. So it's interesting how one of the things that people study most is how to be productive, right? These are the books that sell: How to Be Productive, How to Make Goals Happen. But what's missing isn't the information. It's the commitment. The commitment is what's missing. And if I could simplify it to the core, that's why I started Made to Do This. And that's why Made to Do This is not built like an online course, because I don't think they help you. personally, because I think you have all the information coming out of your ears. It's all there. There's nothing I'm going to teach you that if you wanted to, you couldn't find. You can find it. You might not find it like as cute as I'll teach you, but it's all out there, right? Like information on starting a business, making an offer, marketing things, figuring out how to know what your niche is, building an audience. It's all out there. But what's not out there is the thing that's going to make sure that you stay committed. And in order to stay committed, you need to feel safe and you need to be in a container that's tight. So you can't just be told, go watch some videos, because that is yet another thing on your long list of to-do lists. What you need is a to-done list. Write it down. You need a to-done list, not a to-do list. You have enough of that. You need things in your life that are on the to-done. They're done list. Cross it off. It is done. That's what made to do this is. If nothing else, when you go through these 12 weeks, you have an insurance policy that you spend 12 weeks making a commitment to the things that are the must, not the shoulds, but the must, and you actually complete them because it's happening live. Because everything that you've done so far in our 2-week challenge or listening to my podcast, you're hearing the information and you're getting some of the inspiration and you're getting some of my amazing humor. I mean, it's amazing. Like I'm in the wrong profession and I know it, and you don't have to be nice. And I know you don't want to be too complimentary, but we both know I should have gone into comedy. I'm clearly joking. I hope you know that, but it's not that. In Made to Do This, I'm with you every week on Zoom, and I'm able to do what I'm not able to do now. I'm able to put you guys in spotlights. I'm able to see you. I'm able to give you homework and give you feedback on it. I'm able to work with you over a period of 3 months so I get to know you. And then I'm able to give you one of my incredible rock star mentors who are all business coaches, who all have built businesses, who are all friends and coworkers who I've brought into this business over the last 2 years, who are assigned to you to then meet with you every week in addition to you meeting with me, so that we have a moment where you do the work together. My mom's a piano teacher, and growing up, she used to say, the kids, they practice at the lesson. That's what the lesson is. I sit beside them and I'm like, okay, I'll sit here for 40 minutes. So you actually practice. Oh, we have people unmuted. So that's what is so important. It's really, truly being in an environment where you are not just inspired, but you are making sure that you get the work done. So for me, I'm not so worried about you having information. I'm really concerned with you having a transformation. And to me, that is the most exciting thing. That is the most exciting thing. But the other thing is that you need a strategy. Because there are people who are going to say, you know what, I'm going to find my best friend, Samantha, and she and I, and P.S., why is Samantha not coming back in Sex and the City? There's a whole thing there. I think we should stop the session and talk about what happened, because it's a whole thing. But anyway, you say to your best friend, Samantha, we'll keep each other accountable, blah, 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 but still nothing happens. Why? Because you actually need a good strategy, right? You can run as fast as you want in the wrong direction and you won't see the sunset because the sun sets in one side of the country and not on the other. You need to actually know what it is. Like sometimes I see people get so fed up and they're like, okay, I mean, I use that story about Greg Franklin and he's like, I'm doing it. I'm making a cheesecake.
Thank you.
He kept burning this cheesecake. And it was because he needed a proper cheesecloth, right? There are so many things that I see people doing and they don't get it. So we need to make a decision. So I actually want you to do something pretty bold right now. Type a 1 in the chat if you are up for that, if you actually want to do something bold. Type a 1, something that scares you a little bit. And
1.
Oh, there's a little bit of unmuting happening and it's fine. I actually always feel bad for the person on Zoom who keeps unmuting because they're probably embarrassed. And I'm like, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not a cat. I am not a cat. Zoom culture is hilarious. All right. So let's do something that scares us. I like Dawn I said, type a 1 if you want to do something scary. And she wrote 0.5.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I don't know how to work this.
So what we're going to do is, hang on. We are going to do the following. I want you to make a decision right now, first, of what you're going to do, what goal you're going to achieve. So when it gets to June of next year, you are there. What's that goal that you're making a decision that you're like, I'm doing this thing? I want you to write that down. And now you're scared, right? Because you told it to me before so freely. You're like, I'm going to make 70 grand. I'm going to put in a pool. I'm going to have a baby. I want to do that. Yes, I feel so bad if I didn't. And now you're like, I'm telling you, make a decision and I'm going to tell you to do something with it. So you're like, I don't know if I want to write it down. Maybe I don't really want the goal. Oh, wait, I do, but I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared of writing it down. No, 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 no. Because your life, guess what? We live on borrowed time. So I care too much about you to say, yeah, it's okay. You could be scared. Don't do anything. Because the scariest thing in the world is regret. Because there is a time where there's no more time. And then you say, so what if I would have been uncomfortable? What we don't realize is we've already survived so many things that are uncomfortable. In fact, what I tell friends of mine is when your kids are uncomfortable, like I'm in the back of the car, I'm bored, mommy, I'm bored. It's like, it's good to make space for them to be uncomfortable and be like, it's boring. Life can be like that sometimes. You'll be okay. Look around, be bored sometimes. Or I remember when I was a kid and we would go to the pediatrician, I would have to get, let's say, some kind of uncomfortable shot or a checkup or something like that. And we'd sit in the waiting room. I have to give my mom credit for this. And if she's listening, she knows what I'm going to say. And we'd be sitting in the waiting room and the other moms would say to their kids are crying, no, it's not going to hurt. No. Here's a lollipop. It's going to be amazing. We're going to go to Toys R Us and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great. And then the kids go in there and they cry because she lied. And then they leave, right? My mom would say to me, it's going to be ouch done. It's going to not feel good. And then it's going to be over. And I remember saying to her, why can't you be like that lady? Look at that lady. She said everything's fine. She gave the girl a lollipop. What's with this? What do I need this for? I need this like a hole in the head. My mom's like, no. Yeah, it's going to probably it's going to hurt, but then it's going to be over. And I'm like, it's not nice. Like, can't you just lie to me? And everything was like that. I remember going from one school to another, from leaving 5th grade, going to 6th grade. And I was like, but I don't know anyone. It's a new school and the kids can be mean. And my mom was like, yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. In the first 3 days, you're going to be uncomfortable. And then it's going to get better because then you're going to meet that one kid and you'll find whatever and you'll figure it out and you'll be uncomfortable for 3 days. And I have learned that that actually is the greatest gift, because what you want to do is you don't want to take away your kid's ability to find a way to self-regulate. You don't want them to get really soft and lose resilience because they're so wired that they can never be uncomfortable. They have no tools to be with being uncomfortable. You want them to learn that there are moments where things can be painful or scary and they can be with it. John Kabat-Zinn, one of my favorite mindfulness teachers, says, things are the way that they are, and I can be with them just as they are. He also says, I can't stop the waves, but I can learn to surf. Like, it's not about convincing yourself that you're not going to be uncomfortable. This is why when you see people who are like, get rich quick and it's like lie, annoying. But to say like, this is what this looks like, and you can be with it. And when you do this, it leads to this, and then this will be the result. And it feels really good. And, when I was in labor, every time I was in a tremendous amount of pain, but I wasn't suffering, because pain with purpose isn't suffering. It's meaning. Pain without purpose can feel like suffering. But when a mother is in pain and she's having a child, there's a level at which she wouldn't call it suffering. She would say, this hurts, this is painful, but there is such a purpose to it that you lean in, you make space, you prepare for it, and then you're amazed at what you can be with. And of course, the result is you would do it again and again and again. So we need to come back to our strength. And one thing I actually want to give you as a gift. So I studied a tremendous amount of mindfulness and meditation, and I love that. And my teacher used to say, it's kind of the metaphor is kind of like the ocean inside. And what she meant was when you look at the ocean, it looks choppy, right? You look out at it and the waves are coming and they're going, and there's a lot of movement, and depending on the moon and the wind and the weather, right? Whatever that weather pattern is, you look out at the ocean and it can be fierce, right? There's a tremendous amount of movement. But if you went out into the ocean and then you went down into the ocean, you scuba dived. If you went down 20 feet, 40 feet, 60 feet, how much movement is happening down there? Tina said it's stillness. Well, it's not just stillness. It's so still that it can actually burst your eardrum. That's how quiet it is. So if picture that you're down in the ocean 40 feet and you're looking around through your scuba mask, and every little thing that goes by, you can see it because it's this heavy, calm, powerful, quiet, still, vast ocean. And as far as you can see for miles in any direction under the ocean, it is still and calm. So my teacher used to say that is a metaphor for us, that the mind is always going to race and it's going to like respond to the weather, which is like stimulus. Like this person says this and it kicks off like 15,000 thoughts and it gets you and when you're not in alignment, you start identifying with your mind. You identify with your mind. So you start feeling like this is me, as if you're looking at an ocean and you're saying the ocean is this top layer. But if you know anything about how big the ocean is, the top layer of the ocean is the most superficial aspect because the ocean is so big and so wide that that's like such a tiny percentage of how big the ocean actually is, which means we associate ourselves with the parts of us that are broken and stressed and, oh, I could never handle that. And really, the only reason you've actually handled everything you've already been through is because the amount of well-being, the amount of resilience that is actually in your core is like that ocean. It is so still and strong and powerful. And you just have to start knowing it and finding it and getting it. And then you can do these things. These goals are not hard. You can absolutely achieve them. And yeah, you might be uncomfortable making that first reach out and going live or starting that podcast. And then you'll be okay and you won't be uncomfortable. And eventually you'll do the next thing and that will be scary, but you'll be okay. You'll survive it. So I want you to know what that thing is first, and then I want you to do the scary thing. You haven't even done the scary thing yet. Like I had to like prep you for the scary thing. The scary thing is this. Once you've decided what that goal is that you're going to do, you guys got it? Type a 1 if you got the goal. What you're going to do by June 16, 2022. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to text that to 2 people. And I want you to text it to 2 people who you really respect. And I want you to say, hey, you can go on with your day. This is just something I needed to do. I'm letting you know that in the next year, I'm doing this. And you can go back to your day. I love you. But I needed to put this in writing. And because I love and respect you, I needed to put in writing to you. So I want you to take a second and text that to 2 people and actually text that to 2 people right now. I'm going to do this year. Right now. 2 people, but they have to be people that you respect. It has to be a person who you actually respect. Because the studies show that when you write something down and you tell it to someone you respect, you unconsciously will actually commit to it. So we're doing this is what we do and made to do this times about 1,000. And the kind of direction I give you is every week the next step to build your business. And some people have said, well, what if I already have a business? Well, then this program will blow your mind because you'll grow it to the next level. Because the amount of content that I teach in this program, you can only as a person teach what you know. So when I first started and I was a maker making things and selling them, I could teach that. Then when I was able to create a $2 million course doing this thing that I made as a maker and teaching people it, I could teach that. Then when I had a podcast, I could teach that, how to start it. Then when the podcast turned into 21 million downloads, I could teach that. Then when I started teaching programs and doing retreats and events and pop-up workshops and started growing an email list to over 100,000, I could teach that. So I give you like a fire hose in the program. So if you already have a business and you want to grow it to what, I can only give you as much as I've already done. That's just a fact, right? So if there's anything in between where you are and what I've done, you can grow it to that. That's what I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to start something that actually goes to where I've taken it, because that's all I really know. I know how to grow a podcast. I know how to grow a business. I know how to teach an online course. I know how to create groups. I know how to create retreats. I know how to create events. I know how to create content that goes viral. I know how to be a maker and have something that I'm passionate about and learn how to sell it B2B. Other things you won't get from me, right? There's a lot of other things that people do that I don't do. We do bring in guest experts to talk in more detail about certain other pieces. But if you have a business and you want to grow it, this is probably a great place for you. And if you don't, this is a great place for you, because one of the things that I think is really my move, like everyone has their ninja move, is I'm really good at helping you unleash creativity and see yourself in alignment so that you get these ideas that you actually have been sitting on, but you just were so close to them, you couldn't see them. Okay, so now you just texted 2 people. If you did that, tell me how you feel right now that you just did that. Terry said, awesome. Kim said, no, I didn't. Excited. Cool. Cool. You know what's interesting is because I said to you guys at the beginning, how many of you think there's another level that you can have your life move to the next level? And you're like, yes, 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 yes. And then I said to people like, what's your goal? What's your goal? And people are like, I want to make this money. I want to do this and da, 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 da. You know what the next level goal can also be? Being in love with your life every moment of the day. Like if I can't enjoy this moment with you on Zoom, having this particular conversation, then what does it matter if I won a Webby Award for Best Podcast? I wouldn't enjoy that then either. Like my life is happening now. It's in this moment. It's not the milestones. I remember the day that I was in Billboard magazine when this came out on the stands. And I remember picking up this Billboard magazine edition and crying on the way home because I thought that being in that magazine was going to make me feel something or do something to me, but it didn't. And I've had so many moments like that. But what I learned is, how do I start to shift the total paradigm so that I am finding fulfillment in my moment? And that's why we bring so many heart-centered creatives into Made to do this, because it's not just about making a living. It's about, I want to be more fulfilled. So if I could not only make money, but I could make money painting or sewing or leading a yoga retreat or creating some kind of like a crystal new moon ceremony, like that's really what we want you to do, is learn how to rewire the way that you've been living completely. And so it is both business transformation, but it's also personal breakthrough. And it's kind of all put together because that's what actually lights me up. So I want to give you guys a little extra exciting thing right now. We talked about podcasting, and I want to go talk about that for a second. But one thing I'm going to do is this. It is 12:54. So I'm going to do this. We're going to pull the podcasting bonus out of the vault just for a flash. I decided this literally 8 minutes before I went live. So if you haven't enrolled in Made to do this, you will get my podcasting course bonus which will be good if you enroll up to 30 minutes after we end this live. You can go to madetodothis.com and get it. The podcasting course, again, it won't just be videos that you watch. We will meet together, go over it. And by the end of 5 days, you will have your podcast idea. You will have your first trailer recorded. You will really be off to the races, and you will have a plan, not just how to make a podcast, but how to actually get an audience for a podcast and how to monetize your podcast. My podcast, I wish I had literally like a check stub sitting in front of me, because I find my podcast income, I wish I should take a screenshot of it. I find my podcast income the most amazing thing I do, because I literally make free content and make multi six figures a year just having conversations with people. Like, a podcast is free, and we have advertisers on the podcast. And so by talking about Casper mattresses and Skillshare and whatever Warby Parker glasses and everything else, I just get to like say to Cheryl Hines, hey, you want to talk? I'm interviewing Rainn Wilson on Friday. I'm like, hey, you want to talk? And P.S., this podcast started making money from the first episode. Blue Apron. We didn't have a fancy guest. We didn't have anybody fancy. They sponsored my podcast. Hey, this podcast is sponsored by Blue Apron. Go back and listen. In fact, our most downloaded episodes don't have fancy celebrities on them. They're just me rattling off, rambling about like overcoming fear, overcoming imposter syndrome. People, turns out, don't care. You know why? They can hear celebrities everywhere. That's not new. That's not interesting. So we actually, we sprinkle the celebrities, because there's certain people selfishly I want to talk to. So I'm like, I want to get that person on the podcast. I also think that it's sometimes cool to hear these stories, because you're like, oh, I've always loved this person. You know, we had Jenna Fisher from The Office on, and like, people love her. And it is a cool story, because she was a waitress, and, you know, and so it was. People like those stories, but our most downloaded episodes are episodes with the most sponsors. There's no celebrity. They're not interested. In fact, what podcast sponsors say is the following. They say that the more intimacy exists, the more it's the listener and the host, the higher the click through on the ad. And that makes sense. Think about it. Think about how many times you were watching primetime NBC television, must-see TV, and in the middle of Scrubs, or, well, that wasn't NBC, that was ABC, but in the middle of, you know, Will and Grace or Friends or Seinfeld, a commercial comes on for Crest toothpaste. How often did you go right then and order some, buy some? Never. It's like white noise. And they had all the celebrity attention that they could have. They paid millions of dollars for those spots. What they found out, and you can do this research, it's pretty fascinating, is that advertisers have pulled their focus out of that, and they look for micro influencers, because there is no movement. There is no movement. It's not selling. It doesn't work for them. It is so much more effective for an advertiser to send me, which I love, like, you know, they send me certain clothes, or they sent me certain shampoo or whatever. And they're like, just tell people that you used it and you liked it. And there've been a couple times, I won't say which things, which I actually refused because I didn't like the thing. And one of them I have a whole story about, but don't have time for that right now. But if I do like the product and I don't think that they're horrible people, then I will say that I like it. And a lot of these things we do use, like Daily Harvest and a bunch of these things. And then they say, Kath, it's amazing, because even though you have a smaller audience than Matthew McConaughey or Priyanka Chopra or whatever it is, they've both been on my show. We chose the podcast where you didn't have those people, and your click-throughs were higher because you just said, hey guys, da, 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 da. And it's like your friend telling you, isn't everything anyway word of mouth? How many times have you been hearing about a great movie coming out, and the Sony studio does everything in their budget to like blast it, and they make, you know, trinkets that go in the Happy Meals, and you've seen billboards for weeks, and one friend tells you that the movie is a snoozer? Do you go? Nope. I remember that's what happened with Eat, Pray, Love. I remember being so excited to see it because I had read the book, of course, and I was like planning to see it. And then one of my friends saw it and goes, don't see it. See it when it comes out on, at the time it was like DVD. She goes, watch it on DVD. I go, why? She goes, because the book is so good and the movie is not as good and it kind of ruins the book. And I was like, well, that's a bummer. And she was right. So word of mouth is everything. And so podcasting is such an incredible thing to do. And the cost of entry is literally, you can buy a microphone for $59 and plug it into your computer and you're done. Like, I don't have a studio. I record it right here. In fact, I often use my phone and I use the voice note on my phone to record solo episodes sitting in my closet to this day. I just do that. So, podcasting bonus, I'm going to unlock it from the vault. And if you sign up for Made to Do This by 1:30, you will get that as well, which is typically a $1,500 program. And it's literally like, I think that there are very few people who can teach you podcasting the way that you can learn it from me. I think that like everyone kind of has like their thing and then like their superpower. And I think that that's something that is like a superpower for me. So if you want that, sign up by 1:30. P.S. How many of you have already signed up for Made to Do This? Type a heart in the chat. Type a heart in the chat if you've already signed up. Love it. It's going to be so fun. We start Monday. I'm so excited for you guys. Tell me in the chat, since you already signed up, what you're going to do to celebrate 12 weeks from now because you've accomplished your goals. Are you going to go to Disneyland? Are you going to get a new bag that you love? Are you going to take your husband on an overnight? What are you going to do? Circle the date. You're going to go 12 weeks from this coming Monday. What are you going to do to celebrate? Good for you. Let's already plan that because it's already done, because our completion rate is 92%. And I'll be with you live every week. You're going to complete it. So I'm excited. How many of you type a 2 in the chat if you are on the fence, you're scared, you're not sure, you've done other programs, you don't know if this is your moment, but you kind of want to, but you're on the fence, you're not ready. Type a 2 in the chat. So these are the reasons why I hear people say that they're on the fence. I feel like it's worth talking about. They'll say, I don't have an idea. I don't believe that I can come up with something in 12 weeks. So watch what happens when you stop saying, I don't know what my thing is, and you start changing that and saying, there are clues everywhere. Watch what happens when I force you into action and you have accountability and you have a pod and you have me checking your homework and you come up with something, how that one something might lead to the momentum that you're doing something actually else. It's amazing, but it happens. And it's incredible the percentage of human beings who come through the program and they actually think they have an idea and then they actually get a better or a different idea just by going through this creative process and being put into certain actions and to certain conversations and having to test certain things. You will be given the tools to test learning how to make a product-based business, like how to sew your own t-shirts, how to teach your own course, how to teach people online how to do hand lettering. You will be shown how to create a membership for people who just want to talk about embroidering things and just want to sew together. You will be taught how to create from just content. Like you can make a living just from creating a podcast or a blog or some kind of a curated group of different kinds of things, like a panel, like a summit that you could curate. You won't believe the epiphanies you're going to have. The other thing that we've talked about over and over and over again is people saying, I can't afford it. And Melissa Camilleri, who works with us and Made to Do This, made a list of 30 things that you can do to come up with that first payment. And we talked yesterday about one of my students, Nick, who decided, you know what, I'm just going to start doing Instacart and Postmates 2 nights a week. And then he said, but I don't have childcare. So he brought his kids with him. And not only did it pay for the program, but it inspired his kids. They had quality time. They listened to podcasts. They had good conversations. And then he actually was able to start his business. And I remember when he's like, I just made $7,000. I wrote a song. I got it in a Nordstrom ad because I did that outreach and I talked to this guy, and you were right to like, have these personable conversations, a few every day, your 5x5 rule, and making me do it on that call. And I did it. And then it like broke the seal. And then he started all these other things. Also, people say, I don't have the time. What I think people need to understand is Tim Ferriss is right. Most people don't work smart. They just work hard. So when he says there's a 4-hour work week that's possible, he's absolutely right. My friend Susie Moore makes millions. She grew up in a shelter. She has an incredible story. She has an even better heart. She never went to college. She barely graduated from high school. She feels successful when her calendar is completely blank. She creates content, and from that content, she creates an offer. So she doesn't work more than 4 hours a week. Now, that's not what I do, because she really, I find it kind of like something that I aspire to. She really enjoys taking a book and spending the whole day at the beach. I really like doing this. Like, this to me is more fun than bowling or skydiving or seeing movies. It really is. So I just want to do this. But do I work 40 hours all day, every day? No, I have 3 kids under the age of 9. And I don't have a problem with, I don't have time. I don't have time. In fact, when I started my business, I had a baby and no childcare. My friend Nikki says it's called nap time empires. I literally had the times where she would sleep that morning nap and then that afternoon nap. And sometimes, you know how it is, she wouldn't take that afternoon nap. That's all that I had to start my business. And what's amazing is the less time you have, especially if you have very clear direction from somebody who's already done this and can compress years of trying things to show you which things actually work. If you spent 45 minutes on that business doing the right thing, you'll actually get there. One of my friends is trying right now to break into Hollywood as a writer. So he was waiting all these times for these moments where sometimes they open the doors to being able to write a spec script. And then what happens? He's in that, we talked about the third door, he's in that first line waiting and waiting and waiting. So we sat together and came up with 2 ideas. One, he would stand in front of Warner Brothers studio with a sign that says, take a donut and a script. And he stood there in front of the gate and he felt like a schmo, but people took the donuts and people took the scripts. And one guy said, I really like your gumption, and called him into his office and said, look, I didn't even read the script, but I thought that was pretty clever. We do have a writing program. It's like an in-house internship type thing. You should do it. And he did it. And then he got his big break. So there are certain things that people do, and they just spend time doing the wrong things. In the program, we talk about ways in which you need to actually get the money in, right? Actually move the business forward. People will spend hours noodling on their website. Don't worry about that. It's just a way to keep you from having to do the scary things. Better to spend 17 minutes reaching out to 3 people and asking them the right question about this thing that you could potentially make, whether you are going to be able to offer them the best kind of interior design and you want to understand more about what they're looking for, whether you're going to offer 3 people a day a free Zoom consult to help them figure out that thing, and then at the end make the offer. What we're going to be able to help you do is realize it's a lie that it needs to take more time. It's that you actually just have to focus on the right movement, the right strategy. So I do everything that I create for a busy person, especially a busy mother, because that's my life. And I'm not willing to sacrifice time with my kids. That's not an option. So I've always been the one to pick up my kids at the end of the day of school and I want to take them to gymnastics. I want to be with them. My daughter broke her wrist at horseback riding the other day. I was there. I was able to walk over when she fell off the horse. I sat with her at the urgent care. I don't want to get a call from the nanny that she sat with my daughter in the urgent care. That's not a moment I can miss. So it's not about the time. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. I will tell you that we have a bundle of incredible bonuses that expire tonight. In addition to, if you sign up, you'll get this podcasting program. We have a big bundle of bonuses. My team, you guys can put it in the chat here, but they're equal to thousands of dollars. This is our last night that we're doing bonuses. And if you sign up by 1:30, you will get the podcasting course. We also have a 2-week period because we have integrity where there's a money back guarantee. So if you spend 2 weeks with me, you might just want to do that because it might be something that feels like that next little step. And if you're not happy after that, you don't have to pay for the class. I do believe that people should believe so much in what they do that people can take it home. And if they don't like it and it falls apart or it's not, it shouldn't be one of those like, no, no, no. And you like walk out of this little store and it's like the guy was shady and you're like, damn it. It wasn't the real thing, like you should be able to say like, no, 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 buyer beware. So if you join me to do this and you spend 2 weeks with us and you get inside and you go, for whatever the reasons are, it's just not a fit, you can go, no questions asked. If you want to sign up for Made to Do This, go to madetodothis.com. And Angela just put in all of the awesome bonuses. We're doing a Q&A about launching with one of our launch specialists, Laura Phillips. We have a epic masterclass vault with sessions from Candace Nelson, Rachel Platten, Jasmine Starr, Susie Moore, so many more awesome bonuses. You guys can go check that out. Also, if you go to madetodothis.com, you can watch testimonial videos if that's helpful for you. I mean, at the end of the day, and I said this before, if I didn't believe with full certainty in you, if I didn't believe in full certainty that if you were just loved fully and given a very simple, clear plan, that you couldn't go do you, I just wouldn't stand here and sit here and say this and be this certain about it. But I don't have hope for you. I have full certainty. And so for me, it's like, why on earth would you not show up and be that person next year in June doing it? I want you to make a decision and I want you to change your state and I want you to have the right strategy and take action. And I want you to have the accountability so that you learn to walk and fly. And it's not just a lofty idea, it becomes your life. So I can't wait. We start Monday. I will be back at 8:00 tonight to give away winners because we had homework from yesterday. If you haven't seen the replays come down Friday. The Your Soul's Calling group closes Friday. Go watch the replays at cathyheller.com/replay. Oh, and here's something really cool. You can get business coaching right now I've been voice noting people. My team has been voice noting people. If you have a question about your idea, if you're stuck on something, if something came up today and you just want to process it and bounce it off, we don't do this other than once a quarter. But if you go to cathyheller.com/DM, you will hear back from me or somebody on this team and a live person. There's no robots. There's no person who's like somewhere else who's reading a script. We will help you until this group closes Friday night. We take all of our resources and give them to you because it really is like the most inspiring couple weeks. It's so fun. But what's even more inspiring is seeing everybody graduate from Made to Do This and be a light in the world. So I love you guys. I'm going to hop off. I will be back at 8:00. And if you have any thoughts or questions, go to cathyheller.com/DM and you have 15 minutes to enroll to get the flash bonus of the podcast course. Let's see if you can start a podcast, share your truth, start making some difference in the world with your story, and start making money just having conversations. Why not add that to your life? It might be extremely fulfilling. That's an extra thing that you'll get. I will see you guys later. Thank you for bringing your whole selves to this session. It was awesome.